and a 5-star rapid, similar to what the miners used to run. This is actually Tushai River, runs down to the mighty Yukon. Did you see the suspension bridge? If you look down to the right, you can see Tushai River. That flows directly into Tushai Lake. Tushai Lake flows directly into the Yukon. Asked for a plug of tobacco. And Robert Henderson said, "I'm not giving no stinking Injuns a plug of tobacco." That was his big mistake, because Skookum Jim, Kate, and George Cormack, along with one of their cousins, Dawson Charlie, went on up to Rabbit Creek. And Skookum Jim's story is that night, when they were camping, had a dream. And he dreamed of salmon with nuggets of gold for their eyes, with huge nuggets for their tails. Now, he woke up and interpreted that dream to mean he needed to stick to salmon fishing. So he went down in the morning, check on the salmon down there, bent over to get a drink of water, and lo and behold, nuggets the size of his thumb. So the three men, George Cormack, Dawson Charlie, Skookum Jim, and Kate, hightailed it into 40 Mile to register their gold claims. Skookum Jim would not have been allowed to have the discovery claim, being Indian. So George Cormack, the only white man amongst the group, claimed the discovery, got the second claim, and then Dawson Charlie, Skookum Jim, they got their own claims. So they had this discovery claim, 1 up, 1 down, and 2 down were their 4 claims. Now, the rule of the Klondike was that you let people know when you found gold. So George Cormack and Skookum Jim told everybody they saw they had found gold, and by morning, all of the discovery claims had been staked along Rabbit Creek, which they changed to Bonanza Creek because of the incredible wealth of the gold that was collected there. There was one person Skookum Jim and George Cormack did not tell. Who do you think that was? Robert Henderson. They did not go tell him because they took offense over his prejudice against the natives. Now over here on the left, look at these chunks of snow that have just fallen. So Dawson Charlie, Kate, George Cormack, Skookum Jim became multimillionaires. Robert Henderson, by the time he heard about it, of course it was all gone. He went on trying to mine his own claim. He came out of the Yukon with just $3,000 worth in gold. He gave up, sold his claim for $1,000. On the ship down to Seattle, somebody stole all but 1,000 of his dollars and his gold. So he ended up dying a broke man, never did find good gold. But the Canadian government, sometime later, honored him as one of the co-discoverers of the gold. And another irony is that Dawson Charlie, one of the co-discoverers, was the first native in Canada to be granted Canadian citizenship. Now all of these men, Skookum Jim, Dawson Charlie, and George Cormack, and Kate, the Indian princess, they're from Carcross, and we'll be stopping at Carcross on our way back down.
What's the name of it?
Carcross. Now Carcross used to be called Caribou Crossing. The miners named it Caribou Crossing when they came in off the trail, started building their boats because it's a place where the caribou were crossing from one side of the narrow inlet of the lake to the other side. But there eventually were 4 caribou crossings in Alaska. So they all changed their names. car cross is actually just a shortened version of Caribou Crossing. Now the Caribou Crossing that we are going to